When you recreate yourself, people will fight against your growth, and that's natural. And it's because, before you started on self-improvement, before you started recreating yourself, trying to do better for yourself, you're going to be in a group of people who are all relatively the same, right? And, and for some people, it's all different for everybody. Maybe there was a catastrophic event, or maybe just some kind of eureka moment where you realized, okay, I kind of want to recreate myself and, change and, mold myself into who I want to be. And once you start doing this, right, once you start changing into who you want to be, you start making changes, you start hitting the gym, maybe you start reading books, maybe you start picking up new hobbies. People might feel kind of like insecure about that, because it's like, like you're not like us anymore, right? Like you're kind of trying to be different, right? And it's going to spark an insecurity in them, because you kind of remind them of the promises that they break to themselves as well, right? So where I'm going with all this is that once you start recreating yourself, you're going to garner a lot of hate, because you're doing something that people struggle to do. People struggle to change. People struggle to build good habits for themselves, right? Because we live in like a weird world of like where mediocrity is like at an all-time high. So when you start striving for things like, getting in the gym and trying to be the best version of yourself, you're going to get hate, right? People are going to feel insecure, because you're going to shine a mirror right back on them, right? And like I'm always saying on my videos, there's nothing enlightening about playing small so other people don't feel insecure around you, right? So you have to embrace the hate. You have to embrace the hate. You have to keep on recreating yourself and be okay with the hate that you're going to get, right? By the way, if you need help recreating yourself, right, and making that transformation from skinny to jacked, night and day difference, hit the link in the description. I can help you with that. I'm the guy for that, and we'll see if it makes sense to work together, right? Little shameless plug for a lot of you guys that need it. And don't forget to like this video to boost it up to the algorithm, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's kind of crazy if you've been watching these videos and you're not subscribed. But back to scheduled programming though. Like I was saying, like when you start to recreate yourself, people will hate on you, right? Because when you're doing something that's different from the crowd or the clique that you were in before, it's going to rub them the wrong way. Right? It's going to rub them the wrong way. And you don't even have to make crazy progress. Like even if you start a hobby, you'll get hate, right? Like I'll even tell a little story about me, right? So a couple years ago, I think I was about 2022. No, it was 2022, no, a little earlier. Around that phase, this was COVID era, right? COVID era from 2020 to 2023, I was kind of in that recreate myself process, right? Well, I kind of started back in 2019, like after high school is when I really tried to rebrand myself, right? So, getting in the gym and like, just trying to like self-improve all around. I noticed I would start getting like, kind of like hate. Like I would have like, people like I would used to hang out with would tell me things like, oh, you're trying to be something you're not, bro. Like, oh, like you're changing, bro. Like they'll even like, you might find that you'll have like a group of friends where they will literally kind of like talk behind your back and shit when you try and like self-improve. Like for example, like when from my personal experience, I remember I had a guy literally tell me like, oh, like yeah, we were all talking and like we all kind of agree that you're kind of trying to be something you're not, yada yada yada. I'm just like, bro, I'm just trying to self-improve, bro. Like this, because they see you getting in the gym, they see you're getting like more confident, right? And you're a little bit more like getting more outspoken and stuff like that, right? Because in high school, I was scrawny, I was a little bit more awkward, a little bit more shyer, right? And when people see that like you're not the same person you were when you were in high school, and they see you kind of level up a little bit, they see you kind of gain a little bit more confidence, they see you start hitting the gym, they see you leveling up, and they stayed at the same level, then it's kind of uncomfortable. So they're gonna try and like pull you back and be like, what are you doing, bro? Come back like us. Like, you can't do that, right? Because I can't do it. You can't either, right? It's kind of that weird tug of war thing. And that's what I was going through, right? So I had people kind of tell me that kind of thing. And at the time, I'm like, damn, why are they all hating on me, right? But now that I'm older, I kind of understand where it comes from. And you got to kind of have humility for those people. You have to be, you know what I mean? You can't really, because you can't put more fire over the gas. You can't, what's the word? You can't put more fire over the gasoline, or you can't put more gasoline over the fire. You can't fight fire with fire, right? You gotta kind of like understand where it comes from and be like, have humility and understand like, okay, like, these are people that obviously, they struggle with their own self-improvement. So they're trying to pull you down because it literally you have to understand that it has nothing to do with you, but everything to do with them, right? And that's something I had to understand. Now that I'm older, I get it now. Like, now that when I get hate, I understand where it comes from. I know when I get hate that I'm doing something right. And even now to this day, I still get these weird kind of reactions where like, the person I was in high school is very different from the person I am now, right? Gained muscle mass since that time, a little bit more confident since that time. I think on a deeper level since that time. So I kind of carry myself a little bit differently since that time. And I find, when I bump into people who knew me in the past, they'll kind of it's kind of weird because they'll kind of try and bring up who you used to be, right? They kind of bring up examples of who you used to be and try to say, oh, remember you used to do this, or you remember you're like this. They try to remind me like, oh, remember where you came from, remember who you are, right? And I don't know if this is like intentional. Maybe it could be intentional, like subconsciously intentional, but I find people will do this to kind of like bring you back to who you used to be because maybe an insecurity that they have in themselves because they see you recreated yourself. So they're going to try and pull you back, but you got to kind of like reject it and be like, okay, like, yeah, like I used to be this kind of person in the past, but that's not who I am now, right? You have to, like I'm always talking about, you have to reject the identity that society tries to force on you. Reject, the idea that's like the 40 laws of power, law 25. You have to reject the identity that society tries to force on you, right? Create a new identity. Because one thing you got to understand and like this life that we're living is like, we are literally given like full creative control. Like you literally have the pen in your life and you can write out your story however the hell you want to. If you want to get jacked, get jacked. If you want to make more money, figure out a way to make more money, right? It might take you some time, but it's possible, right? You want to go to university, maybe you got to study more, go to university. If you want to buy a car, maybe you got to save up and buy a really nice car. You have full creative control over your life, right? And society is going to try and tell you and sell you on a victim mentality and say you're less at a disadvantage. But that's a whole other story. That's a whole other rant for another day. But the point I'm trying to make here is that you have full creative control. And people are going to try and bring you down once they realize, once they see that you realize you have full creative control over your life. Right? And it's your job to literally kind of be like, no, screw all you motherfuckers, right? Screw all you guys. I'm going to do me. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to get jacked. I'm going to get rich. I'm going to be successful. Like, you know what I mean? You have to be able to like give the world the finger and just be like, bro, like screw all of you guys. And I'm just going to kill it no matter what. And, you guys can try and remind me of who I used to be. You guys can try and, say I changed. You guys can say I'm trying to be something I'm not. Screw you guys. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep doing me, right? That's the mindset you gotta have, right? You have full creative control over your life, right? It depends. What are you gonna write down with that pen, right? What's your story gonna say, right? You have full creative control. Don't let society force a role on you, right? And like I'm always saying in all my videos, there's nothing enlightening about playing small so that other people don't feel insecure around you, right? You do nothing for society when you play victim. You do nothing for society when you listen to the little haters, when you listen to the little losers who tell you that you changed and then you feel like, oh, I want to fit in. Let me fit back. Let me stop recording videos because I'm getting roasted. Let me stop going to the gym because they're making fun of me. Nah, bro, you got to keep going because when you do that, when you advance and you self-improve yourself, you actually do more for society. Because then other people get inspired off you and then they start to like, their light starts to shine, right? They start to be like, okay, like if he can do it, I can do it, right? Whereas if you play small, you don't inspire anyone. There's nothing enlightening about that. You're literally doing a disservice to society. It's not just about yourself. You're doing it to advance society, right? And in due time, those same haters, those losers, hopefully something will spark in their mind and they'll be like, oh wow, okay, like this guy, you know what I mean? This guy's leveling up. Maybe I should, instead of hating on people, maybe I take that same energy where I used to hate to actually improve my life, right? But yeah, that's all I really had to say for today, man. Like, screw the haters. TLDR, screw the haters. Self-improve, recreate yourself, be who you want to be. Take the pen and take full creative control, bro, because you have it. And, if you need help recreating yourself, because I believe fitness is the first step to recreating yourself. Hit the link in description and, we'll see if it makes sense to work together and we'll see if you can reach your fitness goals for the year. And yeah, I'm excited to work with you soon. And remember, and like this subscribe, send this to someone who needs to hear it. Send this to a hater that needs to hear it. Maybe they need to understand, why they're hating. Maybe they need to, maybe they need some enlightenment. Maybe they need just some encouragement to like self-improve, And yeah, comment down below what you think. Let me know your thoughts. And remember, there's nothing enlightening about playing small. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.